Hello and welcome to a disassembly of the Mosin Nagant, a Russian infantry rifle, I believe during World War I or World War II. I think actually both. You can find these relatively easily these days at any sporting goods store. It is a bolt-action rifle. It shoots the 7.62 by 54R. I had to move to the floor as the kitchen table is not big enough to hold this beast. Even after what accounts to almost a century in some cases of use, these rifles have proven time and time again to be reliable, accurate rifles with one heck of a loud bang, and they're virtually indestructible. Don't test that because just like anything, as soon as you say it, it will ultimately backfire, but not actually backfire. So to begin the disassembly, the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the bayonet. Yes, you heard me right. Set your bayonet aside. You will need some toast. You will need some butter. Make sure to get a generous amount of butter on your bayonet. And butter your toast liberally. Or conservative, depending on your political stance. So, eat like a man. Set bayonet and toast aside. Alright. So, first thing, of course, make sure that it is unloaded. This does have a box magazine that you can check at remove from the bottom and check to make sure there is no live ammunition in it. There isn't in this case. As usual policy, we do not bring ammo near this during the show, simply for safety's sake. So take the bolt and hold. Once it gets into the back, you'll feel where it will stop. Squeeze the trigger a little bit before that, and then just slide the back bolt out. You can take this apart further to get to the firing or the firing pin here. This isn't generally necessary. If you end up letting a gunk in here, it doesn't hurt to clean it out. But usually it's just an extra step you don't need to worry about. And it is also a little bit of a pain in the butt to get back in there. But once you do it a couple times, you will get used to it. Everything in here is pretty big and solid, so you don't have to worry about it. There is access to the spring and everything in the back. I don't generally get in there, just simply because you usually don't need to. Next step, well, at this point during just general cleaning, you have done everything you need to do to clean out the barrel. Lube, just about everything. This is about as far as you actually need to take this rifle on a regular basis. But, and like a lot of military firearms, this is a cleaning rod under the barrel, which we will need to remove for the next step, because we're going to take this thing down even further. Now, I got this thing at a gun shop, and it has all of the matching serial numbers, which probably doesn't mean much of anything, but I kind of like. All right. There's bands on the barrel guard here, the wood furniture. Getting them off could be a little tricky. It's probably going to screw with your varnish, or lacquer, actually. Just press down the clip and slide it forward. Yeah, this is never easy in my book. And the back one is almost always harder. In fact, I usually use a tool of some sort to help pry it up. So push down the same way. Get a screwdriver under there and just get it over the tab if you can. And try to be gentle. You are working with wood here. Taking the cleaning rod out does help with this because it does relieve a little bit of the tension in the wood. And you'll start to see that the top piece of wood will start to slide forward a little bit. That's fine. That'll actually help you. And get that bad boy out of there. There we go. At which point, you can take off the top part of the wood. And you're ready to take it the rest of the way apart. Flip it over, you'll see this screw. Flip it on the top, you'll see this screw. We're going to take the top screw out first. Get in there a little bit more. Take out your top screw. Just take out the bolt, set it aside. Flip her over. Take out your bottom screw. And try to keep a hold of the barrel at this point, and the receiver, because you're going to start to feel it get loose, just so you don't drop it. At which point you can pull the trigger guard and the magazine completely out. Set that aside. And if you flip it over, or leave it as it is, you can remove the barrel and the trigger. Be careful, don't want to tear or break the trigger. Get your wood furniture left over here. And you have your barrel, receiver, and trigger. If at this point you need to take it apart further, you probably have too much stuff going on and should consider just getting a new one for $99 at another store. Not a whole lot of parts, which is part of the reason why it lasts for so long. But yeah, putting it back together is pretty much the same process. You can see we have a spot in the stock for the magazine, the trigger, and the bolt that holds the receiver in. The one for the front for the same thing. They lock into each other. So, first step, go ahead and line this up and get the barrel and receiver all in together. Hold it like so. Take your trigger guard and your magazine and place it on. It should fit in there nicely. The small bolt is the front and the long one is the back. Just tighten the screw. Same story in the back. Put the bolt back in. Alright. So, now we're going to put the top piece of the foregrip on. Slide it all the way back. And this is where we're going to get our rings on here. But when you put these on, you're going to want to make sure that the part of the ring that is separated, the part that expands as you go put it down, is on the bottom. If it's on the top, it's not going to work for you. Slide it gently down. And fight with it. And then grab the next one. And this one's usually a lot easier. There you go. And you have your foregrip on there. The bands on there nice and snug. You can see they've expanded a little bit as they went down. Last step, second to last step, take your bolt, put it on the back of the receiver. If you try to put it in, you'll see it doesn't do anything. Same story. Take the trigger, squeeze it, slide the bolt in, and you are set. As with most firearms, a little bit of lube here and there is beneficial. Too much lube is bad. safety mechanism on this rifle works by pulling the back of the bolt over. This stops all of the function and prevents the firearm from being fired. It is loud and not easy to actuate. It's one of the disadvantages, I'd say, of this particular rifle. But this thing is a loud rifle anyway, so it is what it is. It is really fun to shoot. As I said, you can sometimes get these as cheap as $99. Prices vary. There's different individual models. As you can see, these aren't really well equipped for a scope. There is an adjustment for elevation if you are shooting long distances, and this baby goes to 20, which I think is 200 meters maybe. I have to look that up. So yeah, it's a pretty serious rifle. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's cheap. And the thing will last for another 100 years. If you do get one, it is worth it to take it to somebody who knows what they're looking at. Make sure it is in proper working order. They don't generally guarantee these. If you know what you're doing and you're confident in your abilities as a gunsmith, then that's your decision. But honestly, you may want to talk to somebody else just to be safe. You really don't want one of these things blowing up on you. But that's true for any older firearm. I mean, nowadays they test the barrels, they pressurize them, they do laser scans on them. Back in these days, they put them through a machine shop, and yeah. But regardless of that, these rifles last forever, and I'm pretty sure this thing will still be firing after I'm gone. So, fixed bayonet. Enjoy toast.